Miss Liz, tea time, yeah. Making a difference, one cup at a time. Tea time, yeah. Miss Liz, tea time, yeah. Making a difference, one cup at a time. Tea time, yeah. So be sure to grab your tea, grab a seat, and tune in to Miss Liz. Tea time, making a difference, one cup at a time. Tea time, yeah. Tea time, time.
Well, welcome to Tea Time. It is special surprise tea time. I have a special guest in the house. That's right. Miss Liz has Santa in the house. Who could guess that Santa would come on Tea Time? You know, a few years ago, Miss Liz said that somebody from the North Pole was watching Miss Liz. Well, I guess I found him and he's in the house today. So get your children at the table. Let's have a family get together and let's get these questions out there, some requests, some anybody that has a question about Santa, because Christmas is just around the corner. I do believe that Santa, Papa John, knows the exact date and time, what is left until Christmas time. So let's get the disclaimer out there and let's get a little bit of John's bio out there. And we're going to share a good cup of tea with you today. We're going to talk about truth, effort, and appreciation. That's right. That's the type of tea we're serving in the house today. And we are celebrating Christmas in July because Christmas is a summer event as well. So disclaimer for Miss Liz's Tea Time live show. Miss Liz myself is going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to see your name at StreamYard.com. Please be advised that the content brought forward for any Tea Time show hosted by myself, Miss Liz, is always brought forward in good faith. However, may bring forward dialogues and opinions that are not representative of my platform. The facts and information are perceived to be accurate at the giving time of airing. All Tea Time guests and audience participants are responsible for using their good judgment and taking any action that may relate to their discussions. The content brought forward may include discussions for some where they may be emotionally at risk. It's significant to know that this show is engaging in discussion forums only to offer and inspire awareness and connection and is not providing therapeutical advice. If you have any questions about the disclaimer or the panelist discussion, you may freely contact me, Miss Liz, through my email at bookingmissliz@gmail.com. Moving forward, should you choose to voluntarily participate in today's show in any aspect, I myself, Miss Liz, welcomes you. And should you decide that the show is not made for you at this time, I respect those wishes and will see you at a later show at a later date and time. And again, regular tea times are done on Thursday, 3 and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But today we have a surprise special tea time in the house. We have Santa. So let me give you a little bit on Santa. John Rosdobutko, I hope I'm saying it right, also known as Santa Papa John, is a dedicated individual with a passion for bringing joy to others. With a heartwarming smile, he spreads happiness wherever he goes. Entering his 7th year of spreading cheer, John has a wealth of experience in delight, both young and old. Before embracing his role as Santa Papa John, he spent years behind the wheel as a truck driver, accumulating an impressive 3 million miles on the road. However, it was his decision to attend Santa school that truly transformed his life. This experience not only honed his skills as a Santa, but also instilled him in a deeper understanding of the magic of holiday season. Now armed with his newfound knowledge and infectious spirit, John dedicates himself to embodying the true spirits of Christmas all year round, whether he's delivering presents or simply sharing a heartfelt laugh. Santa Papa John continues to touch the lives of those around him, spreading joy and warmth wherever he goes. So let me get Santa in the house. Grab your children, young and old, it doesn't matter. And Miss Liz has got her little elf hat on here because I'm going to help Santa with his tea as we spill today. So let me get Santa Papa John in here. Welcome, Santa.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ho, 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 ho. How's everybody doing?
Jeez. I am so honored to have you here, Santa. Like, I can't believe 3 years ago, season 3, I had somebody from the North Pole watching me, and I guess it was you.
It was. And I'm just going to try and adjust my camera here for some reason. It's giving me some issues. And maybe it's this platform, but I've used this platform before, but For some reason, I'm being seen through.
It's all the
Being,
magic that we're gonna. It's all the
woo,
magic
yes,
you're
it's all
sharing
the
today.
magic, exactly. You know. So, how are you today?
I am good, and how are you, Santa?
I'm fantabulous. That's my word of the week is fantabulous because we like to share happiness, joyfulness, and positivity wherever we go.
I like it. Fantabulous. We need to have these big words out there that are really cheerful and joyful and all of that as well, right, Santa?
Absolutely. Because, in this goofy world that we live in, this is this is really starting to be a little
Santa's gonna be
tickly.
rocking. He's in the rock, and we're gonna put Santa in the rocking chair today.
But I was about to say there's a lot of people in this goofy world that we live in that don't even have a reason to smile. So, I can walk around the corner and get out of a vehicle, get into a meeting like this. Normally you can see my beard, but that is really weird today.
It's all Santa. I think it's the tea. I think the
It must
tea.
be the tea, the power of the tea, ladies and gentlemen.
So let's talk about your tea, Santa. You gave me the truth, the effort, and appreciation. Let's talk about this a little bit with the little girls and boys out there, and the big kids out there as well, because Miss Liz is a big kid at heart.
Well, the reality of that one right there is no age limit to believing in Santa, and there's no age limit into enjoying, as Mrs. Claus says, the power of Santa's cause. And Santa's cause is positivity, joyful happiness, and cheerfulness. We can share that year round.
We sure can, right? And we need to share more of it, I think.
We sure do.
So, Santa, I want to talk to you a little bit about magical memories. So, what kind of magical memories does Santa have?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, how I became Santa is one of the best stories that creates a lot of positive impact in people. In the fact that I wasn't a believer at one time, but then Mrs. Claus gave me a handful of candy cane and said, next time you're walking through a store and you hear some children, go talk to some children. So I was walking through one of the big box stores and I heard some children squawking. And all of a sudden I went, well, here's my opportunity time to make it happen. Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to. It's still not working.
I swear it's the tea, Santa.
It's got to
be
be the tea.
It's a
I've been on
magical
meetings
tea.
all day and this has never happened to me. I am so sorry. But, as the story goes, I'm walking through one of the big stores. Now I'm see-through. That's even more freaky.
See what happens when you serve your tea? You start to get invisible, right? Sometimes,
Yes.
and people can see
Wow.
through us because we're sharing our authentic selves. So,
But, so I hear these three little kids squawking in the cart, and I walk around the corner and wah, 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 to mom, and I went, hey, are you supposed to be talking to mom like that? Well, they stopped and they looked at mom, they looked at me, they looked at mom, they looked at me, and they said, Santa, what are you doing here? And I went, I'm hearing it because I heard some kids trying to make their way onto the naughty list. Well, the look on their face, their eyeballs went about this big. And all of a sudden they looked at mom and they looked at me and they said, no, Santa, we're sorry. No, we're sorry. I said, don't say sorry to me. Say sorry to mom. And of course they said, sorry, mom, sorry. And I said, kids have to behave all times of the year. It's not just at Christmas time where they need to behave. They need to behave at all times of the year. So I looked at Mom and I said, well, can they have some candy cane? Because you have to ask, you want to be respectful. So, of course, I asked, and of course, Mom said yes. So I handed them some candy cane, and they looked at me and they said, we promise we're going to be good. And I went, okay, because you never know. I might be walking around the corner tomorrow. So I handed them some candy cane and they said thank you. And then I walked away. And Mom come chasing after me and she says, that's unbelievable. She said, I think you just changed shopping for the better for the rest of the day. And she was more than excited. And as the kids listened to me walk away, they knew that they were being watched. And it wasn't just now that there was a possibility that I might walk around the corner tomorrow. So the lady said, you changed shopping for the better. And, it's amazing how even the power of a picture, I mean, that picture that you have right below me as a standing picture, I send that to a lot of people and a lot of friends to show their children that they know Santa personally, because the kids are acting up a little bit. And it's funny and it's enjoyable, because then all of a sudden I get a story back or a little email back that going, I changed, I showed the kids your picture and all of a sudden their attitude changed. So ladies and gentlemen, it's the power of Santa and the power of the tea. And yes, I know it's 168 days till Christmas.
Already 168. Wow.
Yes.
So Santa, we have a few questions here for you. So I'm just going to put them out to you so that you can answer them. So the first question we have for you is, Santa, how old are you?
Oh, that's an interesting question, because the technical term is I'm 1,753 years old. Don't I look good? But believe it or not, Santa is the number one promoted character in the world. Did you know that?
Oh, wow.
So I have, some serious big boots to fill and a big coat to fill, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you what, it has changed my life and it's changed my world. And I'm so proud and excited to tell everybody that, yes, I am really Santa. And even when you get shirts like this made by Mrs. Claus, this is how I dress year round. So I get to entertain kids year round, walking into different stores and participating in different activities throughout the year.
So Santa, we have other questions here, and they're based on cookies.
Uh-oh.
So this little guy would like to know, what's your favorite cookie, and do you eat cookies after every meal?
No, because I'd be 800 pounds. Sugar cookies, chocolate chip, and raisin spice.
Wow. Raisin spice. I that's why I'm drinking spiced tea.
There you go.
And you don't eat cookies after every meal, because that would be just way too much, right, Santa?
That would be way too much. Oh, nope. Trying to change the setting on my camera here.
Another question we have for you, Santa, is, can I find Santa on Facebook?
Yes, you can. Under Santa Papa John. And you know what I started last night? I started reading Christmas stories to children on YouTube.
So look at that. You can find them on YouTube too.
Yep. And of course, TikTok.
So what is it about Christmas stories that you like, Santa?
The Christmas stories are heartwarming. They bring cheer. They're positive, and they make people giggle and laugh. And in this goopy world that we live in, we need more of that. It doesn't have to be just Christmas time to share a smile with someone.
So we have another question here for you, Santa. When should I send my letter into you, Santa, for Christmas?
Oh, the elves are busy creating toys already, and it's never too early to send a letter to Santa.
Wow, we just got a lot of kids that are putting happy faces and smiley faces. What was the job you always wanted as a child, Santa?
What did I always want to be as a child? That's very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know if I ever. Children have a big heart, and children want to create positive, happy memories. And until they get to their late teens, that's when they start thinking of jobs and careers. Most of the time, yes, you get the rare exceptions. But I started out young as a truck driver. I was a truck driver when I was 15 years old, working in a trucking company warehouse.
Wow. When you became a Santa, but Santa travels too, right? And a truck driver travels. So you were on the lookout at a young age. You knew you were going to be having to pay attention, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, the reality of that is you can go through life, and it's all about choices. You can go through life being happy, positive, cheerful, or the alternative, like that Scrooge guy. And we all know who the Scrooge is. And I've actually talked to the Scrooge a few times. And this year I actually made a deal with him that I would give him all the kids' names that were on the naughty list.
Oh.
So that was kind of fun telling the kids. And I'm on TikTok too. You can come and visit me on TikTok. And it's a lot of fun. And when I started telling, because the kids ask questions all the time, what does Santa do about this? And what does Santa do about that? And it was a total interesting conversation when I say, I knew the Scrooge. Well, isn't the Scrooge a miserable guy? Not until you say hi to him, because he's a pretty lonely guy. And he's just looking for some conversation.
We have a really incredible question here from a little girl. She's 10, and she wants to know, who would you most like to have dinner with?
Wow. That's a serious question. Well, you can look at it from a couple perspectives. You can look at it from somebody in history that changed the world, somebody in your history that changed maybe your life or maybe your thoughts or it's someone that's just starting to be powerful and is looking to change and be positive. So that's very interesting. You'd go back. Winston Churchill was such an amazing man, not only because he led the English and the Great Britain in World War II, and he made some very serious discussions and some very important choices. They were not necessarily decisions, but they were choices. So he'd be one that I'd probably want to go meet with. And then, of course, there's the musicians, But having a table full of children, the giggles, the laughters, the joyful, the smiles, the questions, that is a lot of fun. And I've done that many, many, many times.
So we have a couple more questions for you here, Santa. And the next question is, who is your favorite reindeer?
All of them. You got to love them all equally because they're all amazing and they all do amazing things together.
We have a question here from a 9-year-old boy. Where did you go last on vacation, Santa, with Mrs. Claus?
Well, isn't that an interesting question? You know, Santa can be very busy and toys need to be built all year round because if you think about how many toys he actually gives out on Christmas Eve, everybody just thinks I work one day a week or one day a year. But in reality, we're making toys. The elves are making toys now year round. And vacation time is usually to a warm place where I can put my feet up in the sand. So, you know, one of the islands in the Caribbean where it can be nice and joyful and relaxing, where it's not too hot, because Santa really doesn't like the hot, you know. So, yeah, probably down to the islands.
So, Santa, what is your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, that can be really tough because it all depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Santa loves all different types of music, but of course, here comes Santa Claus. How can you go wrong with that one? But Trans-Siberian Orchestra has some amazing music too. And just because they think they play classical, if you haven't heard, listen to some of their Christmas music. It is absolutely incredible. And of course, Winona, she has some wonderful Christmas music out as well.
So, Santa, let's get into that magical tea that's making you all glittery. Let's talk about that tea a little bit. For the tea, you gave me truth, effort, and appreciation. Let's get into those words for all the children and listeners in there that are listening today on Tea Time. Let's talk about truth a little bit, Santa.
Okay. The truth can be a powerful word, and kids like to manipulate the truth because they always want things that are bigger than life a lot of times. And remember, well, did something, all of a sudden it changed.
We're talking about tea. See,
we're talking about tea. There, come back. I don't know.
It's the magic of the tea, guys.
It's the magic of the tea, I'll tell you, because ladies and gentlemen, it is real. It's been there for a long time, and you know, it's my smile maker. But the truth is, you know, people tend to want to twist the truth for their own benefit. But the reality of it is it comes back and bites them. And that's not necessarily the best thing that you want to do in life.
Yeah. So let's get into your E, Santa. Let's really get this tea. Maybe we'll get the sprinkles. Let's talk about the effort.
Oh, the effort. You know, you have to put your best effort forward all the time, regardless of what you do. Whether it's the children doing their chores at home, at school. Oh, yes, school is very, very important, children. I know you hate it. You hate doing the tests. But the reality of it is school is very important because in life, sometimes life is not fair. But you got to remember school is always important. School will open the doors to many different opportunities. So putting your best effort forward in anything you do. And a big thing is, if you start something, don't quit. Do not quit. Put your best effort forward and do not quit. The old proverbial, how do you climb a mountain? One step at a time. Or, like the kids say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. If you look at the big picture, it's pretty scary sometimes. But if you take it and break it down to steps so that you can do one step at a time, it can lead to a lot of positive, happy, joyful endings that you will be so proud of yourself, and other people will be proud of you as well.
So, Santa, let's get into the A of appreciation.
Wow, you're making me think today.
I am.
That's good. Santa needs to do that once in a while. You know, boys and girls, mom and dads, you have to appreciate life and never take it for granted. Always tell mom and dad, grandma and grandpa that you love them. Give them a big hug. And yes, sometimes you get told to be put in the corner. Well, they appreciate and they love you because they're teaching you a lesson. And lessons happen all through your life. And to appreciate them, you have to make a choice on the other side. What did you learn from that lesson so that you can appreciate the understanding? Gee, Santa's getting all psychological here. Wow, you're making me really.
Just take Santa into a different direction. That's why he's all sprinkly and
Absolutely.
See, Miss Liz makes Santa work too once in a while.
Oh yes. So then we go.
So Santa, I want to talk to you about the Santa Claus Network. How many Santas are out there?
Oh, there is a lot of helpers out there. The Santa school that I belong to has almost 7,000.
Oh.
And that's worldwide. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of your age, you can always learn from somebody else because they made the mistake before you did, so you can learn from their mistakes. And you will understand that in life. I mean, when mom and dad are teaching you how to drive the car, ride that bicycle, go down the hill on those skis, ride a toboggan, any kind of learning process, you can always learn from somebody else. And when you stop learning, that's when you start making mistakes because you're going to go backwards.
So Santa, let's talk about the North Star. For all the little kids out there that don't know about the North Star, what is the North Star?
Oh, are you talking the North Star group, or are you actually starring the North Star in the sky?
The North Star in the sky, and then the group.
Oh, the North Star in the sky.
We're double dipping, remember?
I love it, girl. You got to think on your toes. You absolutely have to. You know, the North Star is a very powerful star in the sky that has created so many stories, from the three wise men following the trail of the North Star to find Jesus, which is what we celebrate Christmas about. The North Star has led many sailors and explorers because it's always a constant. It's always in the sky. It's always a familiar star that people look to find a common path to the next step.
And the reason that I asked you about that, Santa, about the North Star in the sky, because it goes right back to the storytelling, right? And
Absolutely.
there's so many different stories of Santa out there and so many stories about Jesus and Christmas and that. So that's why I asked you that question, so that people can look into the North Star and find out all the different stories that are out there. Let's start reading stories to our children, getting ready. At Christmas time, get some books out there for people that are writing children's books. Get those stories out there as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And it never is too early to read stories, especially mom and dad, to read stories to your children. It's never too early.
So, Santa, what's your favorite Christmas story besides your story?
You know, I've started another project where I'm going to be reading stories, and people are giving me ideas on some of their favorite stories. I haven't developed a favorite one yet because there are so many amazing stories out there to read. But the biggest thing is you got to have an open mind and an open heart to allow the happiness, the joyfulness, and the positivity of the Christmas story to come to light.
So, Santa, we have a question here, and then I'm going to get into the North Star group. So, if you could go anywhere right now, today, where would you go?
You know, I've traveled a lot of the world and seen a lot of many positive, happy things. Probably back, I have been to Scotland and England, and they brought some wonderful memories and some wonderful, happy times. That would be probably one of the places that would be on the top of the list. And of course, you want to go warm in the summertime. But I've seen the videos lately of swimming with the whale sharks off the coast of Australia.
Oh, wow.
That would be absolutely phenomenal. And I've been talking to a lot of people in Australia lately, and they say it does happen. There's a lot of people that come to experience it.
Wow, Australia. Would never thought of that. And you must have a lot of little children that ask about baby shark, right?
Yes. Baby Shark is a pretty powerful and popular toy, and all the characters that go with that story. You know, because he doesn't do everything by himself. He has other partners in crime or partners in happiness, depending on which story you're reading. You know, so the kids love the positive. And you know, if we can keep the stories and the happiness to the three big things: joyful, happiness, and positivity, there's a lot of great stories out there that can be passed on and read to.
Wow. So now let's get to the North Star group, Santa.
Sorry, itchy nose. One of those days.
That's the glitter.
That's the glitter. Yeah, no kidding. I'm clean again. Woohoo! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is real. There now I can tug it. And of course it stopped. Started again.
It comes and goes.
The North Star Group is a group based out of Minnesota and Iowa that share camaraderie and learning lessons amongst other brothers in the red suit. So yes, there's not only national groups, there's world groups, there's local groups, but the groups are there to grow and to help each other learn from other mistakes. And if we can accept that we're not perfect, that we keep trying, we keep learning, we keep exploring on new adventures on how we can make our craft even better, the children and the parents are going to be the one that win. And grandparents, we can't forget grandparents too.
Yeah.
Because there is no age limit to believing.
Well, and you said in the beginning of the show, Santa, that you at the beginning didn't believe either until you had your experience, and then you said, "Oh, wow, okay, I needed to open my eyes as well." And I think that's where life is, right? We need to open our eyes sometimes to things that we might not be open to until we experience it. Correct?
Absolutely. People have unfortunately been taught or understand that sometimes it's a straight line in life. And that's farthest from the truth, because there's always hills and valleys. There's happy times, there's sad times, there's positive events, there's negative events in everybody's life. But if we learn from the negatives so that we have more powerful happy times, we'll all succeed being better human beings and being better people that we can relate to.
So, Santa, I want to talk about all the incredible services that you offer. So, let's start off with Santa photos. So, where can we get Santa photos?
Well, let's see. If you're in the Minnesota area, I do live in-person visits around the Minneapolis and central Minnesota area. I do virtual visits, which means I can do a recorded video for your child, or I can actually do a Zoom call like we're doing now, that I don't disappear because I'll have a different camera setting or whatever this is. It's the power of the tea.
Santa, it's the tea. It's always the tea. Blame the tea.
Blame the tea. We're going to blame the tea today. Absolutely. Yes, I've come up with some very unique marketing ideas to provide, as I say, what I'm doing is I'm helping people create positive, happy, joyful memories. And there is no time of the year that we don't need more of those. So I do one-of-a-kind happy birthday videos. And those don't have to be for children. They can be for adults as well as for seniors. Oh, and I do Santa check-in videos. Maybe the kids need a little encouragement from Santa, because it's maybe July, maybe it's August, whatever the time of the year. And I can do a special video that is dedicated to your children or, the grandchildren or whoever it may be. And again, those don't have to be just for children. They can be for adults and, our seniors. A lot of people forget about our wonderful seniors. Without our seniors, there wouldn't be any stories. But I got my hand slapped here a couple of weeks ago from a lady that says, am I marketing these check-ins to seniors? And I said, not as much as you're telling me I should be, right? And she said, well, her mother was housebound for the last 5 years of her life. Loved the idea of Christmas and loved the idea of Santa. So she said, you need to market to our seniors more. So, that brings up the Alzheimer's societies, the dementia people, the nursing homes, the assisted living places. I would love to do videos for those people in those places, because I remember my mother was a director of a nursing home for many years, and she would tell stories of sometimes some of the people put their senior members of their family into places like this. And then, unfortunately, they don't visit them very often. So they can become very lonely. They develop friends in these buildings and places and stuff like that. But if they could get a happy birthday video, or if they could get a Santa check-in video, that would be pretty awesome to put some cheers on their face and smiles on their face and create a happy moment for them. So those are the types of things I'm doing. And now I'm doing another one to create smiles and happiness and positivity. I'm creating and writing and reading Christmas stories to the children on YouTube. So yes, more ways, and then I can create. Wouldn't it be cool, Miss Liz, if I made a custom-made story for your grandchildren and I was able to read a story with the children's names in that story?
That is cool.
Holy moly, wouldn't that be pretty special?
That is absolutely cool, ideal, Santa. I think you should do it.
So yes, that's another idea I'm doing. So, this Santa likes to think outside the gift box because he loves the idea of showing positivity, happiness, and joyfulness to more people than you know. Because the world's a pretty ugly place out there right now, and we need more reasons to smile, to be happy, and to be cheerful for. And it doesn't matter what country you live in, because with technology, I can reach everybody around the world. So, it has truly been a blessing for me. It's really changed my life. Even at Halloween, I handed out candy dressed like this. And the kids and the parents are looking at me and going, why is Santa handing out candy at Halloween? I'm on vacation, baby, and I'm having fun. But
Santa likes his chocolate too and candies.
Well, of course I do. But the simple reality of that is it put a big smile on their face. And yes, Halloween is a fun time for a lot of people. Some people it's not. But if you can shed and share even more happiness and create more smiles, isn't that a win-win situation?
It sure is. I think, Santa, that it's okay to be all year round because it gives hope to the children all year round to give and to receive and to help and appreciate what they have in life and, give those cheerful messages and joys. And I've seen you, Santa. You have some pretty cool backgrounds sometimes. You have race cars and you have aquariums and you have all these cool backgrounds. So
yeah, I was swimming with big sea turtles the other day, and I thought that was pretty cool too. But you know what? That means Santa's traveling around the world checking on boys and girls. But more importantly, he's creating some wonderful memories for a lot of people. And that's the cool thing.
Oh, we have a comment here from a Teatime guest from Adam Duvall from the UK, and he says, mental health around Christmas and people feeling lonely melts my heart.
It's a serious situation. And some people, it affects them definitely the wrong way because of whatever history they've had in the past. And as well as I do, is some people have a very negative, ugly past that they're trying to get over. And I commend them, I congratulate them, I see them, I give them a big hug, I tell them that Santa loves them. And it's a huge step for some people, but it's a step that only they can take to change their mindset, to change their lifestyle, to change their reality.
So, Santa Papa John, I want to talk to you about the naughty list and the good, nice list. So, children can jump from list to list, correct, during the year?
Oh, yes. Throughout the year, yes, they can. And it's amazing The kids, when I go live on TikTok, the kids will go, "Am I on the naughty list?" Well, what have you been doing to think you're on the naughty list? Well, I've been, and all of a sudden, when they're asked the real question, they start to, backstep really quickly. But yes, I always tell children that if they're on the naughty list, there is time to change their ways and times to change their thinking to get back on the nice list. Now, the big question is, can you put me on the nice list? No, I cannot. You have to put yourself on the nice list or the naughty list. And how you get back on the nice list? You start doing nice things, opening the doors, saying hello to seniors, saying hello to veterans, giving mom and dad a hug, helping them with the chores around the house without being asked 10 times. Or, the adults and the seniors, do they have to do this and do they have to do that? No, they don't. But they're the only one that will find out when they haven't done something that they should have did it before. It's like leaving that proverbial piece of pie on the table. Well, you should put it away, but it's okay, I'll leave it. But then the next day you go look at it and you go, nope, critters are getting that piece.
Right? It's like when you have dinner and you don't put it away right away, and then you're like, oh, I should have done that. Right?
Absolutely.
So we have a couple comments here from Adam. Hi, Adam. I do see you. Life is how we create it. And he says, I'm always on the good list. Liz knows this. We're going to leave that at, he's a good boy at times.
Oh, at times. There we go. Yeah. It's amazing how the comments will come out about, well, I'm really doing good because I did this yesterday. Well, did you do it today? Are you going to do it tomorrow? Remember, it's what you do every day, consistently every day, that become positive habits that will create joyful, happy, positive moments in your life. And it can be only you can change those habits.
Yeah. Santa, I want to talk to you about if Santa could be anybody else in this world, who would Santa be?
Holy moly. It hurts. You're making me really think. I love it. Who would I want to be? That's such a powerful, simple question. Right now, I don't know who I'd want to be, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of great people out there, but there's also a lot of ugly people out there that are using their power to influence wrong decisions, wrong habits.
And the reason that I ask that, Santa, is because sometimes, we wake up and we're just like, I don't want to be me today. I just want to break, right? And it goes back to the mental health, right? Sometimes even Santa, it's a lot of work to be Santa and to watch all the children and to see the list, the naughty list and the good, nice list, right? And seeing that there's a lot of hurting children out there as well that don't have a voice, right? So on these platforms, like my platform here, Santa, I want to have these children have a voice and say, you know what? I don't want to be myself today. I just want to break. It's okay to take a break.
It is. It is. But for me, I've created a wonderful life that gives me the opportunity to share happiness, to share positive and joyful actions and reactions. It's been a long time. Yes, I get tired. Yes, I'm putting in long days. Yes, I'm talking to people around the world and listening to sometimes some very sad stories. but I always find a way to put a twist on them and tweak on them that I'm able to make those people smile and think about happy, positive memories or times of their lives. We can dwell on stuff that is kicking us down, or a choice. Remember what I said earlier on, life is about choices. You choose to wear your elf hat today because it looks amazing on you and you're going to create a positive memory for somebody. You choose to be smiling. You choose to be happy. You choose to do this show because it brings a lot of happiness to a lot of positive people. And yes, you have some very serious conversations with other people about some pretty nasty, unfortunate subjects that need to be talked about. But in the end, the conversation turns happy, positive, joyful. And you know, we keep having to make choices in our life. And, you know, I am blessed. I am very happy. I'm very positive. I get to make people smile every day. I get to bring joyful and happy and positive thoughts to people's lives every day, all around the world. And with technology like this, that even has the T curse going to it, you know,
See, Santa only gets the sprinkles, guys, with Miss Liz.
absolutely. But the reality of it is, this kind of technology allows you to communicate and share your smile and share your thoughts and prayers and happiness and whatever other adjective you want to throw in there worldwide. And it's like we're sitting on the fence talking like we're neighbors. And that's the coolest part about this is, you know, I've talked to 17 different countries in the last 7 days about some of my promotions, which gives me a lot of encouragement that there's a lot of people out there finally coming out of the nastiness that they've seen the last 4 or 5 years. Yes, there's still a lot of people hurting. There's a lot of people scrimping and scraping to make the next payment, but they're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel because people are starting to see that there is some hope, some happiness in the world that needs to be brought out more positively to be shared all the time.
Well, Santa, the reason that I wanted to bring you on Tea Time is because you've been watching me for a couple of years and making sure that I'm being a good girl here. And Miss Liz does get on the naughty list sometimes too because of my mindset. So I need to switch back over to the nice side. But I wanted to bring you on Tea Time, Santa, was to show the magic of Christmas, bringing back the magic behind Christmas, right? And having those good memories and family moments and bringing people back together, connecting people. Because you just said it, you connected with 17 different countries, you know, by reaching out, by networking, by supporting one another, asking questions, getting involved. Those are all the things that Santa has to do all year round. You know, keep getting out there and asking questions because Santa has to ask the questions too in order to get the answers so that he can better himself. Um, you know, and I just really want to bring back the magic of Christmas. You know, we some of us do struggle with holidays and Christmas time, but it's okay to change that pattern and that cycle. It doesn't mean because you have bad Christmases as a child that you have to have a bad Christmas as an adult. And I just really wanted to bring back the magic of Christmas, and I'm doing that because I served you tea, Santa. Well, you served me your tea, and we got sprinkles going on and glitter, and that's what the magic of Christmas is all about, is bringing back that joy into everyone's life.
And you know, one of the most powerful words that you said in that whole paragraph was connections. We need to connect with more people. We need to connect with people that we haven't seen for a while. We need to connect with family and friends that we haven't seen and talked to for a while, because that is going to open the door to maybe changing some bad history if we start sharing and caring that, we love people, and we want them to be happy and positive and cheerful. And, different people, different parts of the world, like you have just said, the power of Santa and the power of Christmas can overcome a lot of ugliness in the world. Only if people make the choice to accept the new reality that the world doesn't have to be an ugly place. It can be positive, it can be happy, and it can be cheerful if you make the choice.
Well, and I think that's the thing, right? It all comes down to choices all year round, right? We all have choices. Every single one of us, it doesn't matter what age we are, all age groups, we all have to make a choice, on being good or bad, or changing our lifestyles and patterns. We can change those patterns, and we can make happy moments again, and bring Christmas back, and bring that magic back. Now, Santa, I watch you on TikTok, and I see you. And I pop in and out, and I'm just like, I see that cheerful, happy Santa out there. What was one of your most favorite Christmases of all time, Santa?
What's one of my most famous Christmases? Can't put a particular year on it, but when the kids were little and they were all excited, and they had to drag me out of bed in the morning because, they would get up at 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and I'd say, go back to sleep. It's too early. But they would drag me out of bed, and there would be so much excitement in the room to share, and the happiness of the gifts that they got, that they were able to appreciate. But remember, all toys don't have to be bought. Mrs. Claus is famous for making her wonderful blankets, mitts, scarves, and hats, and homemade trinkets and stuff like that. Those coming from the heart can create a wonderful, lasting impression. Grandma made me a homemade blanket, a homemade quilt, or, scarves, mitts, and hats that they're excited to wear for many, many years to come. And remember that, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to go break the credit card. You don't have to go break the bank. You don't have to go break the stores to compete with the Joneses down the street. And, I was just talking to a lady that does finances, and we're going to do a podcast. In fact, we're going to do a second podcast, for the simple reason that people get scared. The anxiety is just over the top of Christmas is coming, because they fail to plan. They fail to make an idea. They make a list, and they shoot from the hip, and then the credit card bill comes in January, and they break down and cry. I hate Christmas. I don't like Christmas because I go broke. Well, there's that magic word, choice.
Yep.
That is your choice to do things like that. And it's your choice to change things like that. And, you can think outside the gift box to find unique items that may be a little bit lesser than you want to spend, but they might be more meaningful to the person you're giving them to. We've all heard the story that Billy bought Susie a magic snow globe and blah, 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 blah. Well, she shook it 3 times and it sits on the shelf for 26 years and she's never used it again. Loved the idea of the gift at the beginning, but never uses it.
Yeah.
If we all take a step back and ask, what would you like for Christmas? Then you might be able to find an idea that they will put to use on a regular basis, and they will appreciate it a lot more than buying something that the old proverbial white elephant sits on the cupboard or sits on the shelf that collects dust. You know,
Well, it goes right back to Santa. It goes right back to writing the letters to Santa, telling Santa what you want. So the parents, write a letter to your parents and say, this is what I would like too. Have that communication, have that openness, have these
oh, you
conversations,
said a big word.
right?
Communication. Oh, ding, 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 ding. Oh, hang on. Ding, ding, ding. We got the bells. Woo! That one's a huge word, ladies and gentlemen. Communication is such a powerful word.
It is.
And don't be scared to use it.
And that's exactly what we're doing right now together is we're communicating to each other. And to all of the guests that joined and all the children that sent in their questions, you were communicating with us. And that's what we need to do in order to make a better world is start to communicate. It's okay to talk. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to make those lists. Send those lists in January if you want. Send one in February, January, March, April. You can send one every month.
You can send one every month. That's right.
You just never know because changes all the time. We'll keep Santa really busy. We'll just send him a letter every month because that's how much life changes, right? What you might have wanted in January, you don't want in March. So you never know, right? So get those letters in. So Santa, if they'd like to reach out to you, how could they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me many different ways, but santapapajohn.com is one of the best ways. And I'm on all the social media, and I would love to make a video for your family, for your friends. And what I like to say is I would love to create a positive, happy, joyful memory, because that opens up the doors to many different things that I do. And we need to create more happy, joyful memories. Everybody has those other memories that we all like and don't like to share, but they're a fact of life. But we love to share the happy, positive, joyful memories. And we just need to make a few more of those so that we can share and think about all the positive, happy, joyful times that we've had in our lives, where we're sharing tea time and where we're sharing communication with people, where we're sharing a positive memory with someone maybe.
Well, and we're sharing some glitter and some sparkles and twinkles and jingle bells. We're sharing it all on Tea Time today. So I really want to thank you, Santa, for joining me on Tea Time. And I want to thank all the listeners and viewers and all of the kids that sent in your questions. Thank you so much. I do realize that you're underage, so that's why they were sent privately to me. Thank you for that. But let's just keep the communication open and let's support one another and get on over to Santa Papa John on TikTok and check him out, and on YouTube. Storytime is really deeply important to Miss Liz because reading is important, and reading out loud helps the mind and the brain as well. So start reading out loud. It's really good for you.
It's like we think about going back and watching the kids in school now. They don't know how to write their own names.
Yeah.
Because they do everything on a tablet or a keyboard or on a phone. Pick up a pen, and it'd be amazing.
Pen and paper.
Look at that. Look at the notes you got, girl. Love it. But, it's sad that our younger generation can't do that. They don't want to do that. They don't know how. Yes, we're preaching to the choir, and that's not what we like to do here. My side, or I'm sure your side, I'm going to think for you there for a second, but, those simple things in lives can be very important for a lot of people.
Yep.
So this has been a blast. You've thrown out some very great questions that made me do some thinking. And, that's the fun part of doing this live. And all the people that threw in questions, that communicated with us. Thank you very much. That, that made this fun, and it was a lot of fun. And you can catch this lady doing many different interviews with many different types of people with many different types of stories. And she's opening the doors up to a lot of different great ideas. So, support her as well as supporting me. I appreciate it. I'm growing on all my social medias, and this young lady is growing as well, and she's putting out a very positive, joyful, happy product. And we need to, communicate. So if you've been watching this, it's going to be recorded. I'm sure it's going to be shared somewhere on the social media. But if you like it, share it to your friends so that we can maybe do this down the road again and have some fun and create some giggles and laughters.
Absolutely. So within 2 hours, everyone can check out this Tea Time with Santa on over 80 different platforms, and it will be sent to 3 different radio stations. So if you're tuning into those radio stations, you can hear that as well. 2 in Ireland and 1 in the UK. Miss Liz is pushing these Tea Times all out there. And again, Santa, I want to thank you for joining me. We have to create different. We have to stand in our difference, and we have to make a choice to change the world, one step at a time, one tea at a time, one twinkle at a time, one glitter at a time. Just be yourself. And that's what Tea Time is all about, is just teaching educational awareness that we all can make a difference with our stories and our lives. And that's exactly what Santa Papa John is doing. He's changing lives and bringing Christmas back. So let's spread the joy. Share this Tea Time with your loved ones. If it resonates with you and you would like to reach out to Santa and you're just like, I don't know how to do it, Miss Liz. Well, reach out to Miss Liz. Miss Liz will connect you with Santa. That's how it works, because Santa's my good friend. So we'll let you go, and we're going to wish you all a good time and enjoy your afternoon. Spend time with family. Have that time to communicate once in a while. Take 5 minutes. 5-minute chit chat goes a long way sometimes. It opens that door. And ask the question, what is your tea? And like Santa said, what do you want for Christmas? Have that conversation with your children. Sit them at the table, dinner table, and let's have these conversations. And let's start speaking Christmas, and let's start speaking tea. And we can all make a difference with one cup of tea at a time, one Christmas story at a time, and one Santa at a time. So thank you, Santa Papa John, for joining me on Tea Time. And again, everybody, I will be back on Thursday with 2 more incredible Tea Times. We have a young lady coming in from Austria, and then USA, we have a returning guest who was on season 3 and 4. So stay tuned for that. Until then, keep sharing these Tea Times. Run over to Miss Liz's YouTube channel, give that a little ring, and give Santa Papa John's YouTube channel a ring, and check that out, story time. Until then, I'll see everybody on Thursday, same time, same place, and we'll do this all over again and share a different type of tea, real life stories and words.
Take care. We'll end with a great big virtual hug, as I tell the kids. Big virtual hug. This has been amazing. And share it with all your friends, folks. This has been a lot of fun.
Well, thank you so much.